Okay. We are we're live. Let me wait. Yep, we are currently live. Um Let me see what's going on here in the dashboard. Oh, I got a bad thumbnail on it. I believe I do. Are you seeing it pop up? Yeah. I can't figure out how to I can't figure out how to change the thumbnail right now. I'm fucking all into it, man. Oh Lord. Actually, no, that's not it, bro. The one that you're looking at is not it, right? Or wait. Oh, that's not it. Oh, that is it. Okay. So, what's going on, everybody? Stand by. I'm fixing the thumbnail. I don't know why the Eagles and Cowboys thumbnail's on there, but it is, and I gotta fix it. Did you test audio? Can't hear Patrick, he said. Interesting. I got to figure that out as well. Everyone, give me a second. As you guys know, nothing's easy in life, so I switched from Mac to PC, and that's what I got right now. So I could hear Patrick clear as day, if anyone's wondering. There we go. Switch that. City Boy Reggie, what is going on? This needs to be changed right here to. I don't think they're hearing you. I think that. Let me add audio. Audio output capture. Okay. Let's go with. Never mind. Maybe input. Fuck. Anybody able to hear Patrick here? You know what? I'll be able to see if I can fucking hear. Nah. Hold on. Let me fix one thing. If this doesn't work. That's not it, right? This doesn't work. All right, go ahead one more time, Patty. That's not it, right? This doesn't work. All right, go ahead one more time, Patty. No. Huh. Anybody hear me test? I see that. I absolutely see that. So I need to figure out how to get. Fuck. I could double hear me. I don't like that. All right, so I'm on audio, right? That needs to drop down a lot. Still can't hear Patrick. I know. What's going on, everybody? Stay in the chat. Stay in the chat. So I need to figure out how to get my Zoom. Where's all my where's all my tech guys at? That's the real question. Where's all my tech guys that know exactly what to do here? Yeah, I know you can hear me twice because I'm listening to the audio myself. So I would feel like it would be the output. You know, the window. See, the problem is you're not coming out of my monitor. You're coming into my headset, and it should. Yeah, but that really shouldn't have to do with anything. Uh, no, let's try this. Try now. Try now, Patrick.
What's going on? Test, 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 test. Anybody? Yay, nay. We in there?
Yep, you're good.
We're good?
You're good. All right, give me a couple. I'm gonna let you hit the intro. That way I could. I want to look up through your audio. As always, welcome everybody. If you are new, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up in the video. A lot of breakdown me and Patrick been doing today. I switched from freaking MacBook to PC. I have a lot of changes going on in the studio. I want to kind of hear his stuff. If you're hearing me double back right now, it's because I'm listening to the live stream. I want to kind of get a good thing on Patrick's. We're going to be breaking down this Yankees game. We're going to be going over a lot of NFL, college football. We're going to be doing a giveaway here, probably about within a half hour or so. We're going to be doing a giveaway to get on board Patrick's fantasy. His fantasy package that we were talking about last week, and I think he landed something big. Closing out this week strong for week 4. So,
Yep.
As always, if you guys are new to the page, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Daily sports betting. It's not always right. It's not always wrong, but we do our best to make sure that we're doing good for you guys. So make sure you guys get in the chat. Talk about what we're on. Is a big wild card game. Yankees, Red Sox, 2 of the best players on the team, give or take, depending on the way you look at it. DJ and Martinez not in the game. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things, but without further ado, I'm gonna let Patrick, give a little intro as always, talk about the free giveaway or talk about the package you're gonna be giving away, and then where they can find you as always on social media.
Absolutely. So Ghost Picks Patrick on YouTube, on Twitter at Ghost Picks Nuz, Nuzz, and then on Instagram as well at Ghost Picks Patrick. That's the host of That Line Reeks. Every once in a while, come in there and find a fishy line and put it on Instagram for you. Also, for you today, there is one that I think in this important game, Yankees Red Sox, a little bit of a fishy line here. Something that's a little off, and every once in a while, you got to be able to spot those and recognize something's up. I think there's one here today that we can potentially take advantage of. So that'll be later on in the episode. As far as the giveaway, DFS, I have been 2-0 this year. Since I started DFS, I've been, hooting and hollering about it, talking how good it is. And so then it's gone 2-0. So, excited about that. But the giveaway, we will do something here in the chat or in the video. So you got to be around. But you'll get, 2 weeks of DFS full lineups, whether it's Monday night, Thursday night, or the full Sunday slate. So that is something to look forward to in this episode. And those are all backed by data, numbers, matchups, film study, all the above. I think the top stack we had last week was one of the top quarterback stacks behind Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. But per dollar, Taylor Heineke and Terry McLaurin was actually the top stack between quarterback, wide receiver last week, and we had them. So that's kind of stuff you're looking forward to. And we'll give away some stuff today. So, Jimmy, take it over.
Perfect. Well, if you guys obviously don't know that Patrick's been, I think I'm good on my audio here. I'm so worried about audio. It's absolutely disgusting. But yeah, you kind of cut out there. But if you guys don't know, Patrick has been here, kind of behind the scenes, even with Bryce, strictly numbers, and we've been kind of bouncing a lot of ideas off him throughout the course of NFL. Checking out his fantasy has always been one of the things I like to get involved with because his numbers speak for themselves. So if you guys don't have the 150 package already, I think it's still 150, is it?
Yep, still 150.
150 for the entire season. Can't beat it, guys. Literally gets everything that he has fantasy football wise. Gives you two lineups, I believe, right?
Yep, two lineups every week. So tournament lineup, which is the boomer bust, pretty much playing the lottery, and we've been right there, but just missed out. And then the 50-50, which you're looking to hit 60-65%. We're 2-0 on those in the year, so looking to, if you hit 60%, you're making money. I don't think 60 is anything that we can't strive for, and 75 would not be anything crazy in my opinion. So, and that's great returns on your investment.
Absolutely. So as always, it's Manscaped Tuesday. So I had a lot of stuff to deal with yesterday. It was supposed to be Manscaped Monday for the Raiders game, but we came on here for Manscaped Tuesday. And what better way to kick off with a very important game between not only just a great AL wildcard game, but two powerhouse teams, both heavily wagered teams. That's to be talked about today as well. But just a big fucking game on a Tuesday, and I'm very excited for it. Head on over to manscaped.com. Use our promo code GHOST, save 20% off anything on there, and always let me know. There's some great stuff like the crop preserver, all kind of great stuff. Ball deodorant. There's nothing better than that. We have some razors, some nose and ears hair trimmer. Head on over there, use our promo code, and we really appreciate that. But getting into some of the big stuff that we have, I kind of want to touch on a little bit of bad beats because you guys know that usually when it comes towards the following week in NFL, we are not overreactors. One team in particular we talked about last week was the Cowboys. We're going to talk about that, and then also the Kansas City Chiefs, both which I really liked. Their performance for in Week 4, heading over into Week 5. Looking at a couple bad beats that I kind of want to touch on here. Nothing too crazy. More of letdown performances, I guess. And I'm going to kick it off right away. Tennessee Titans, it wasn't a bad beat, but that was just a pathetic game. I was on the Jets. If you guys don't follow Patrick on Twitter, Ghost Picks Patrick, what's your Twitter handle over there?
Ghost Picks Nuz. Ghost Picks Nuz. It used to be Nuz.
Just like on the Twitter there, check them out because that line reeks is, a lot of people don't respect when I call a situational game. My free play on Sunday was the Jets. I labeled it a situational game, and it's clearly just because lines don't make sense. Depending on what you're following as far as numbers compared to opening lines, current line movement, public betting, everything in between, you're looking at a lot of factors that come into place when you're ready to drop money, your hard-earned money on a fucking game, and you're like, man, why in the hell is the fucking Titans only -6 against the Jets? Sure, sometimes the line plays out right, and you're just an idiot, right? I've been on multiple sides, but I think for majority of our situational games, as I like to call them, because I even have them in Major League Baseball, we're right at least 70% of the time. And I think that was not only a clear case for that line reeks, but I put it in my free play videos, and that was my free play. So the Jets, Titans, absolute fucking terrible beat. Jets were not that good. They had a couple big plays. It's just the Titans offense. I've never been a fan of their quarterback. They have the best running back in the NFL, hands down. Coaching was terrible, and it was just sack after sack after sack with a bad quarterback that's afraid to stay in the pocket. I don't know. What's your thoughts on the Jets this week?
Man, that was the game I was all over. That was actually my top play of the week. I had the write-up and everything done for a red alert on the Jets when it was 7.5.
I really wish I would have got that.
Line sitting at 7.5, and I was there. I was so close to firing up the red alert. That line actually drops to 6.5 and then to 6. I mean, anything that crosses through 7, automatic red flag. And the fact that it's the Jets versus Titans, double red flags. Definitely the line was off 100%. And, you look at that and you say, why is that? The way to beat the Jets is on the outside. They have weak corners, weak safeties, and they had no A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones. which means that the Titans were going to have to run into the strength of the Jets, which, Quentin Williams and the line, they're actually a solid run defense. Coverage sucks, absolutely terrible. So the Jets actually had a pretty solid matchup. And then the final kicker for me, I'm a big strength of schedule guy early on in the season.
Yeah.
The Jets, I don't have them pulled up, but they had faced the number one hardest schedule of defense in the NFL. And you look at those things against a rookie quarterback, and that's tough. So you go up against a team like the Titans with a weak pass rush, a weak secondary, and Corey Davis and Zach Wilson was actually my top stack for tournament play, DFS.
Wow.
And then Corey Davis, yards, and anytime touchdown were actually my two top props for the entire weekend. All those hit. Corey Davis plus 200. So very excited about that. It was all over that game. That was my top tier play of the day, tied with the Patriots, which we can go on into that game. I think we were both on the same side there.
Yeah.
Another line
Go ahead.
was off. You got it.
Yeah, so we were both on the Patriots there. Another completely line that was off. I talked to Jack about this game. He was actually looking to do a write-up on Brady, a little bit of prop bets and stuff, and I kind of talked him off that myself. And usually the cappers don't talk to each other about a game, but when we're trying to, get out big plays and cappers have big ideas, sometimes I throw my input on there. Not always, but this time it was. And, the weather obviously took a big factor for me, but at the end of the day, this is Belichick. He knows Brady's weak points. He knew Brady's weak points. But also, this is one of the top defenses in the NFL so far, and that's kind of weird to say. Mac Jones has a great squad, surrounding him. Absolute atrocious talent on offense. I think there's a lot to be done to that New England team that has a very fucking bright future because just the way they played the Bucks, they're just a couple fucking plays away from being perfect this year. And I just thought that was entirely too many points. Obviously, the line was stuck at 6.5. You have all these people. Of course, you have all the announcers. Oh my God, Brady's going to come in and kill him. Once everybody's all over the Bucks, you just know the fate. I was a huge Patriot believer. I actually thought the Patriots were going to win on the money line. But I put out plus the points, and clear case of that line reeks. And again, guys, if you don't follow Patrick on Twitter, you're absolutely missing out. Ghost Picks Nuz, go check it out on Twitter. That line reeks segment is pretty fucking cool because sometimes the numbers don't add up, and it's okay to admit, hey, I stick to numbers and I only follow numbers. But when you're betting numbers that don't make sense, sometimes you're on the Jets and the Patriots. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah. And no, every once in a while you're wrong. So for me, the Patriots, it was completely wrong in my opinion. They could have put that line at anything, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5. People would have taken Brady. The fact that they didn't cross 7, they kept it at 6.5 was a huge red flag for me. I mean, that was monstrous. Only a single touchdown against that team. A game where I like the under as it is, and you add in the fact of rain. And for me, the Saints game the week before was a perfect practice game for Mac Jones and Belichick. They have a very similar defense to the Buccaneers. Obviously, they look terrible, but it's a practice for rookie quarterback. That kind of stuff helps. You could tell Mac Jones was comfortable back there. That was actually my top, right behind Corey Davis. My top prop was Mac Jones completions over 25. We coasted to a W there. And that was it. Just dink, dunk down the field. And that's the way you can beat the Bucks. They play a soft cover 3 zone. That's kind of a mix between numbers, a matchup, and then Belichick. I'll take the hoodie all day long, catching 6.5 at home. So, that's a combination of line that reeks plus it's just a great matchup. So, put those two things together, and that was another top tier play there for I think both me and Jimmy, which we didn't even talk about it, but understand the same things.
Absolutely. As far as bad beats, I really don't think that there was many that I can go over for Sunday. I could probably name 1,000 for Saturday, but as far as Sunday, I think that, as far as bad beats, I think more just favorably towards the public. Both those games definitely hurt a lot of people. Like I said, I really wanted the Patriots on the money line. That kind of stunk. I had a little wager for them on the money line, but all those parlays, all those money line parlayers and stuff, they definitely got there with the Bucks. But that's the nature of it. And I've done podcasts right here on this YouTube channel with odds makers, and understanding where they're at as far as accountability, right? Because at the end of the day, being an odds maker is a job, and you're held accountable for wins and losses through the casino. Whether that's good or bad is irrelevant. At the end of the day, and at the end of the week, and at the end of the month, your job is to answer and say, I profited this casino money, and I was the one that pulled the trigger on this line. There's a lot more that comes into it than just coming up with a line. -7.5, right? Patrick said already for the Buccaneers opening up at -7.5. And that's great. You know, at the end of the day, the odds makers aren't going to pull in as much as traction at -7.5 as they are going to at -6.5. And with their numbers probably be favorable matching up towards ours, which is clear situational game, clearly wanting to back the Patriots there. Odds makers played it smart. You know, if they're going to keep pounding and pounding and pounding on 7.5 and they drop it to 6.5, they already know that they're going to continue to get more and more and more money, way more money, because the key number is 7. So I think it's very imperative that you guys really understand when we talk about situational games, odds makers are also watching this. They're watching where the money's coming in, how I can benefit in middle. That's the whole point, is to middle. They must middle. And that's, you know, they get the best of both worlds. The opening number and then the current number, and it adjusts depending on the amount of money, not the sales of tickets. So I think that those are very big, important things, and that's why we have a job doing this, and a lot of people tune in. But let's head on over to college football. Alabama, Ole Miss. I wanted to start off by saying, me and Patrick talked about this earlier, and if you guys don't mind, we're going to be doing a little giveaway here shortly. We're going to be getting right into the Red Sox and Yankees game. I know that's kind of the big thing here, but Alabama, obviously, to me, #1 team. I've seen them. I've watched them live twice this year. I do know Georgia's directly on their heels, but Nick Saban has proven a point that he's got the best quarterback in college football. He's got the best offense. He's got another group of receivers that are just absolute freak athletes. Got a great running back. Not the best Alabama offensive line, that's for sure, as we've seen in many years. But this defense, to me, is what comes out. They got some DNs that are big, strong. They got some great hard-hitting linebackers. Definitely a little vulnerable, kind of in the secondary, but they have it all. They have what it takes. And like we talked about earlier, the quarterback's got the confidence to win another championship. And I'm gonna turn it over to you on the Alabama segment.
It's insane. I've gotten caught betting against Alabama this year. I've come front and center. But last week Alabama was our top tier in college. Great week in college for us. Finally, early on in the season, got on the wrong end of some bad beats. Was really coasted into a 3-1 college football Saturday with Alabama being our top play. I texted a couple of my buddies Saturday morning. We're just chatting about nothing crazy and talking about those lines and the Arkansas line and that one in particular. Catching 14, 17 points. And everybody's kind of on those dogs, those public trendy dogs catching a lot of points in a ranked matchup. But in reality, it's Bama, it's Georgia, and then it's a big gap between everybody else. And I think the difference between those two teams, Bama and Georgia, is the quarterback. Bryce Young back there. I've never seen a freshman quarterback look so cool. Yeah. I mean, if Stuart Scott was out there, he's as cool as the other side of the pillow. He's back there. He just bounces around, never seems rushed, even with the pressure in his face. He slides and, creates opportunities. But doesn't really like to run, but uses that and just has a cannon for an arm. Even the 2 interceptions he throws, it looks like Mahomes when he throws an interception.
Yeah.
They even look good. They're deep throws that could be caught, but go the other direction. So I think the level, I probably won't be taking against Alabama again this year. I think they're just one of those teams that I'd rather just look another direction. But that was a great opportunity to take them at only 14 points against an Ole Miss team that could they have covered? I think absolutely, but they would have had to play a perfect game, and that includes getting those fourth down conversions and maximizing their opportunities.
Yeah, I want to know from you guys in the chat. You guys are kind of being silent. We got about 40-some people in here watching right now. This is a great opportunity to hear your guys' input. If you don't mind, get in the chat right now. We got a serious debate here. I was talking to Patrick earlier about this, and it was, the top 3 college football teams, and it's very easy. Oregon losing this week to me, kind of wrote them off because to me, Oregon would have been number 3. Number 1, 2, and 3, you got Alabama, Georgia. I don't care if you think Georgia's better than Bama, but what's your third? Drop your in the comment section. Put it in there. Alabama, Georgia. Who do you guys got as third? Don't be biased. Put your favorite team in there. I actually want to hear, what you guys honestly think. We're seeing some people write Oklahoma, Iowa, which is Iowa's not bad. We could kind of touch on them later. Wake Forest, wake up. That's not bad. I mean, I don't care what your guys' thought is, but it's very, very tough coming up with a third and being true to it. What I mean by true to it, I mean walking up to the window and betting, saying, you know what? If Alabama and Georgia are not the guys that are going to take it, does Georgia's offense have what it takes to become a college football championship team this year? I don't really know. But, is it Oklahoma? I don't think so. I think, I faded Oklahoma week 1, which they should have lost. And they got so many issues. The confidence isn't there. They're a super home team. They can't play on the road. Their defense is just an absolute disaster. I thought it was Oregon this week. They looked absolutely terrible. They lost outright. And NC State, I'm seeing in the chat here. Davey B says Patrick is right. The gap is insane. I think it's an understatement. I don't know. It should be Alabama 1, Georgia 2, and then it should go right to number 20. The next team should be ranked 20. Yeah. Penn State looks great. Obviously, some of the Big Ten teams like Iowa coming out strong. Very bad strength of schedule, to kind of judge some of these other big teams off of. Michigan State, I think, is a very, very good team. I think they're going to move up in the poll here. Brand new quarterback, hooking up with, I forget the receiver's name, is just an absolute freak athlete. And, Michigan, going into that game, their game last week and the week before that, obviously playing two good defensive teams. I was a little worried about that Michigan offense, but I think as they continue to go throughout the year, I think Michigan's going to pick up and be trendy in the top 5. If not, maybe ranked number 3 here shortly because, Reed, he's just an absolute stud. But, I'm going to give you guys my top 3 here, and you guys can agree to disagree, or you guys can say whatever. Number 1 is obviously Alabama. Number 2 is Georgia, and I'm very skeptic with number 2. To me, I think there's a big gap after Bama. If Georgia didn't have that freaking defense, I'm telling you what right now, they'd be sitting in the same boat with me as Oklahoma. But their defense is so good. When I mean so good, it's scary good. Potentially being one of the greatest defenses ever. They're very scary, and that correlates to going over into the offensive side of the ball sometimes. Sometimes you don't even need a good offense like that. However, when you're trying to put a power ranking, you need to beat Alabama. So I like Alabama number 1. I like Georgia number 2, and I do like Michigan as the number 3 team in the nation right now. And it's just, again, based off the defense, I think with their strength of schedule too, they have enough opponents to kind of, say, hey, we're the fucking truth. Not just like whatever. Ole Miss was actually in my top 5 before this game. They really showed their true colors. Did not want to get ahead of ourselves that game because of that defense. They have played nobody on defense so far, and that's exactly why I was all over Alabama in that game, and so were you. So I'll jump in.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. So Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss very well could be the 3rd best team in the country.
Yeah.
In my true, honest opinion, I think Alabama against anybody not named Georgia would be a 14-point favorite. Iowa, on a neutral field, 14. Michigan, probably 14. All these teams, at least 14. So I don't think Ole Miss, those are going to probably drop a little bit. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they run the table the rest of the year. And then you talk about the Big Ten. I see a couple comments in here. I can see that Davey is clearly a ACC guy.
J-Rock's not feeling Michigan, huh?
No, Michigan, I don't agree with that as well. If I were to go to a Big Ten school, I would personally go to Iowa. Iowa's defense the way they have scored. I've lost betting against Iowa multiple times. I like Maryland again, but I had learned my lesson. Just lay off. That
Yeah.
defense scores more points than opponents than most teams' offenses, and I don't think their offense is anything special, and that's why I like betting against them. But their defense has scored more points than I would say Kansas, Duke, these poor teams. So I was a phenomenal defense and big plays. They create, game-changing plays, which favors them big time. The team that I would take though over all of them, if I had to put, so this is a betting show. If I had to put my money on any team to go to the finals and make a run at these teams, I would take Cincinnati. Cincinnati would be my team. Not only have they shown that they can beat teams that are in the top, but also they have a cakewalk schedule the rest of the way. I think they're going to run the table. And at that point, with their defense and an experienced 4-year quarterback in Ritter, I would not be surprised to see them give one of these teams a game. They play it like it's the Super Bowl. It's the one time, one chance. A team like that with a good defense, good coach, it's just about the perfect opportunity. I don't think, it's going to hit exactly, but I think if that's where my money goes, if it's not on Alabama or Georgia, it would be Cincinnati all the way.
I can agree with that. I would say that.
So Cincinnati was my second tier play last week. It was Alabama was number 1, and then Cincinnati was number 2 versus Notre Dame. I love Cincinnati. I think to go to Notre Dame and win at their place and really shut them down. They had no chance.
I'm not a believer in this fucking Notre Dame team. I think.
Oh, no, not at all. But their
Cohen's
defense,
a terrible quarterback. Here's my philosophy on Michigan, and we're gonna get over here. Is Michigan has a tough schedule, and I think a team like Cincinnati needs a tough schedule to oval out the year. I don't think it's good to have an easy schedule towards the end of the year. I think that some of these teams, like obviously Bama, some of their losses, I think kind of hurt them to have an easy schedule towards the end of the year. I'm just a big fan of Michigan overall. I think their team's very stout. I wouldn't put Ole Miss up there. I think that they're a very high-powered offense, just like they were last year. But that defense is so bad that they need to score 40 plus a game in order to win. And when you come up against a team that for the last 10, 15, 20 years revolves its entire system around defense or is known for its defense, I think that's where they hit their brick wall. But it's hard to match those points. I think Ole Miss just had a bad game last week. Obviously, he played the best team in the nation, but they're definitely a top 5 team in my book. But I think power rankings right now, I think they got Penn State and Iowa in there big. If it were up to me, you're asking me for one swap. They got Cincy at 5 right now. If you want one swap from me that I think needs to happen, I think the top 10 Coastal Carolina needs to be dropped down. I think they are completely underrated right now. They're not messing around. I got it, the Sun Belt, whatever the fuck you want to say about them. But we could also kind of say the same things about Cincinnati. Notre Dame, absolutely terrible. I'm not a fan of Notre Dame. The line for them against Wisconsin was that for a reason. They were plus points there. Murray State. I don't know. I think their schedule's too easy. UCF's terrible this year. They should obviously run the table there. SMU might give them a little challenge at the end of the year, but I'm just not a big fan. The Bearcats got a great defense. They don't put up a lot of points, and in 2021, you need points. So, yeah.
And that's what they were able to move the ball in that Notre Dame team. Notre Dame, the strength of their team is 100% the defense, and they were able to push it down the field. They've got that John blank on his name out wide, but they're able to push the ball when they need to. It's kind of like their philosophy to take it easy, which I don't 100% agree with. I like definitely when they try to push it down the field, which they did. They were aggressive against Notre Dame. I'd love to see that. But overall, they do definitely take it easy and kind of play more conservative and play with that defense, which they trust. And, it hasn't let them down in the past. So
I think Coastal Carolina would beat any team 6 and above. I'm talking Ohio State.
Coastal's the same thing as Cincinnati. They're a scrappy team, can score.
And they can score. That's the scary part. I think they could beat Iowa, and I think they could beat Penn State. All right, look ahead kind of for Super Bowl odds. We're going to kind of wrap this up fast and furious.
let's finish up with that. Let's go ahead and get on into that Yankees Red Sox. We got people all up in here talking about some Yankees
Okay.
Red Sox.
Last thing I want to say is hopefully you guys took the Cowboys prop that we talked about last week. Cowboys are the real deal. That offense is absolutely fucking insane. We also talked about grabbing the Cardinals. They were, I think, one was plus 2,500, one was plus 28 or something like that. Some of the odds that we gave you last week. Chiefs looking strong. Saints suck. We were going to kind of touch on that, but let's get over into the Boston Red Sox Yankees game. And really quick before we get into it, I want to do a giveaway here. Ghost Picks Patrick. Obviously, we know him as the fantasy guy. 2 lineups per I don't know if it's day or week. Looking for the 50-50s. If you guys don't understand what that means, these are just some of the matchup style ways that you can play on DraftKings or whatever you're using for fantasy football. He gives out 2 lineups. And then also gives some more information. I'm gonna let him touch on that. Why I write this number down. So Patrick, why don't you explain what you do for the fantasy football guys, and then we're gonna do a little giveaway.
Cool. So I have my rankings for each player every week, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and it's based off of their previous matchups, future matchups, and point spreads, everything. Everything goes into it, and it spits out the top rankings each week. I use these for DFS lineups, try to find guys that are under the radar. So last week it was Terry McLaurin and Taylor Heineke. They showed up they popped as my most valuable guys of the week. So they were in every single lineup as far as the 50-50, and those were money. It was the second highest stack behind Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, which if you had that one, guaranteed winner. But that was expensive. So if you went ahead and did that, you had to cheap rest of your lineup and would have had to nickel and dime through the way through it. But anyways, this DFS, it's been money, 2-0 so far. The tournaments we hit in week 1 on the top 10%. We were just on the 10% side, but our quarterback stack didn't even play well, yet we were still up there. And then week 2, we were right there as well. So you're looking to hit one of those over the course of the entire year, one of the tournaments, and it pays out, the top 5%, you get, $5 to get, 500 or, plus that. So the 50-50s are what we aim to hit 65% on at least, or 2-0 on the year, and both of them easy winners. So that's what we're going to be giving away is 2 weeks of DFS. You get the lineups. I do Monday, Thursday. If I find a matchup that I love and I try to play like a captain's choice on DFS or on DraftKings, I'll give you one of those. But every Sunday, I do the tournament lineup, which is the boomer bust. We're looking to hit big, and then the 50-50 cash lineups. Those ones are high floor, and ideally with the bonus of getting in the end zone. And those guys have been getting in the end zone, so they've been hitting for us. But that is what we were giving away here now.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about it. If you guys aren't on board, it's $100 for the full, or $150 for the full season with Patrick as well. So what I need you guys to do right now, free giveaway, get on board the everything he just kind of went over there with Patrick. All I need to do, number between 1 and 100, put it in the comment section. Anyone who is to the left of this number, you're automatically out. Anyone to the right, it's the closest to it. So if I say the number's 10 and you pick 9 or under, you're completely out of the shot to win, the giveaway to win. But whatever's to the right of this number, whoever's closest, 1 through 100. How do you get the rankings, Patrick? Harrison, you could go to the website and you could buy his $150 full season promo, and
that's full season. If you do one, I will have a 1 week package. I will have that up by tonight.
Yeah, let's get that going for sure.
Yes, so that'll be about $20 for the 1 week, and you get the DFS rankings for that week, each position, as well as the lineups, and that will be weekly as well. So I'll have that up by tonight. So that'll be one way.
And, I'm a big 50-50 guy in DraftKings and stuff. So I don't go in for like 100. I'll do like a $500 lineup. And it's kind of good that, to get in on some of those things that you were talking about. Again, guys, if you are getting in, we're doing a giveaway right now. Guess a number between 1 through 100. As long as you are to the right of this number, you have a chance to win. Or if you guess the number, you obviously win. So if you're to the left of the number, then you obviously don't qualify. But, to get with Patrick for an entire week, just to check out some of the fantasy stuff, he'll deal with you personally, give you 2 lineups. And, like I said, I'm a big big fantasy guy. So I don't go in for $100 and just have a prayer with it. I like to go in $5,000 for the weekly lineup, weekend lineup. And it's very key. Obviously, a lot of the normal people, the public people, I guess you could call them, that jump in there and they get Mahomes and they get Hill on there. The rest of their lineup is tough. And sure, they're going to have a badass quarterback and wide receiver duo. But when you get in and you grab Heineke and some of these other low-key guys, Patrick gave out this weekend, that's where you really boom on the, I don't want to call them guaranteed guys, but some of those 7,000-8,000 guys that you could grab, kind of stack the lineup that are going to grab you some serious points. So make sure you guys check out Ghost Picks Patrick. $150 for the entire NFL season for fantasy is absolutely insane. So
yeah,
all right, if you guys go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, we'll give away in just 1 second. So like my tournament lineup this week didn't cash, but that was, we had Zach Wilson and Corey Davis was my top value stack of the week. They combined for about 50 points, which is plenty. That's a top upside that you're looking for. But my number 2 running back was Dalvin Cook, and he went down with an injury in the first quarter, and that was really kind of throws it out, and that can happen sometimes. But even with Dalvin Cook injury, we were in the top 25%. If Dalvin Cook has a good day, we boost all the way up into the top 10-5 percentile and really get paid. So that's all we're looking for is one time with the tournaments, and about 65-70% with the 50-50. Bet some big money on those, just the same thing as anything, and those are DraftKings is legal in all those states where sports betting is not legal. So I'm right on the border, so I can do both, which is awesome. But some people out there I know understand can't they just enjoy watching sports, so they maybe not able to bet for whatever reason. DraftKings, so it's always fun to do as far as DFS goes.
That's great. Well, it looks like we have our winner, Robert Mitz. Make sure you reach out to Patrick. I know you guys can't see this, my lovely writing. I made sure I colored it in. The number was 70. Robert Mitz, or MTZ, guess 71. Obviously, it's not going to get closer than that. Make sure you reach out to Ghost Picks Patrick. Patrick, if you want to throw your email in the email section or in the feed there, make sure you reach out to him. Thank you guys for participating, obviously. And Patrick will have that $20 DFS weekend up for you guys. And I don't know how crazy it's going to get with you, man. Maybe they're going to want a Sunday and Monday package. We might need to really finagle some of the verbiage here on the packages, or just tell them grab the weekend package still for a Monday and Thursday. I don't know if that's something you really want to get into. That's something you and the clients can deal with. But I highly encourage you guys. He talked about it enough here. You guys hear the numbers. Let's get into the Red Sox and Yankees, baby. All right, obviously game time here is a half hour, so we did our giveaway. We want to get into this. I'm excited for this. Obviously, Cole against Evaldi. I'm excited about it. I'm a Yankee fan, no doubt about it. Boston Red Sox. It is what it is, right? 2 heavily public bet teams. So when people come into the chat here talking about public, hey, I know majority of everybody bets on both these teams when they play. So I'm not a fan of looking into this. Cole's been beat up this year. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Trevor Bauer, here's a little story for you guys. Trevor Bauer, who obviously is a pitcher for the Dodgers, probably will be getting let go due to some sexual assault accusation, or, whatever. I don't know. Fucking some weird shit's going on with him. But Bauer, who was one of the worst athletes ever, threw a 70-mile-an-hour fastball in high school, made his sole life and dedication into baseball. He used to wear shit to college, all kinds of stuff in class. He was studying the physics of baseball, and he just became obsessed with it. Well, actually, one of the guys who used to pick on him all the time was Garrett Cole. He was like a bully to Trevor Bauer. And that kind of pissed him off. But anyways, he came out and openly said that he knew and knows Garrett Cole is a cheater. Plain and simple. He said, I know Garrett Cole uses the substance. That's why they had the rule this year. If you guys aren't aware, They check them all the time, random times for any of the tar. Make sure that they're throwing with nothing. You know, obviously it changes the velocity, changes spin, changes everything in a baseball when you're using this substance. Do I care if they use it? Fuck no. I just want to see some more home runs and some strikeouts. But Trevor Bauer even showed it before one game. He said, "Do you see anything on my hands?" And the camera guy said, "No." And they don't air stuff like this. But Bauer is a untamed pit bull. He's a freak. He's very vulgar. He says his thoughts. He's just a crazy athlete, and the coaches can't control him. Cracks beers, pretends to shoot people after he strikes them out, like unprofessional shit. But we love it. Fans love it. So he actually picked up a ball and was holding it in air, and he's like, "See," he goes, "There's plenty of stuff out there." So at the end of the day, he said that Garrett Cole's a big cheater. Obviously, we know about it. Yeah, so Garrett Cole, complete downside letdown this year. Obviously, the Yankees are probably scratching their head after giving him all that money. But, the Red Sox still kind of struggle to hit against him. Hernandez has a pretty good batting average against him. I ain't worried about that. I'm really looking into the guys with the deep 15, 20, someone like Bogarts, 5 for 24. Renfroe 4 for 20, Schwarber 3 for 17, batting a 176. And I think that this is just tough, especially when you do some comparison on the other side. Like I said before, no DJ, no Martinez. We both heard about a lot of their injury rumors, and it's definitely going to affect them. However, DJ kind of had a downslope this year, and I think a lot of it was more mental than anything. He was still, looking at some of his other stats than just DJ grounded out or DJ struck out. His strikeouts are kind of high this year so far, but also he just had what we like to call is just unfortunate ball, the ball placement. High exit velocity, making some great hard hits, just unable to find the open gaps. And that's tough, especially for a Colorado Rockies hitter who's used to getting on base a lot. He's still batting over 270, whatever. So, anyways, I want to kind of get into a free play here. I'm going to give my thoughts on something I talked about earlier and go from there. Listen, Yankees have been struggling offensively. Both teams, to be honest with you, have been struggling offensively as of late, especially the Boston Red Sox. This is a team that I said had the 3 best hitters maybe ever back to back to back in the middle of the year. Some freaking injuries will do that to you. I'm not too worried about their pitching yet, but when you have Devers, Bogarts, and Martinez, especially with a good batting Martinez, holy, their lineup has been freaking scary this year with those 3 batting back to back to back. Now we add in the mix Garrett Cole coming in here. I think he's going to be that Garrett Cole today that we see pissed off. And that's a tough Garrett Cole, the guy who refuses to come off the mound, who, you look at him as a coach like, I need a fucking win. Boom. This is the guy I want on the mound. Nathan Eovaldi, super high fastball. Not really much of a dynamic pitcher, but just knows how to get people out. I think we're going to see no runs in the first inning. I talked about as my free play. Davey B says Eovaldi over 5.5 strikeouts. Devers with 2 hits, which we could talk about that here shortly as well. But I like it. I like Yankees and Red Sox. No runs in the first. I think we see 6 very quick at bats. The only thing that scares me is the Yankees. We have 3 of their best power hitters starting first: Rizzo, Judge, and Stanton. So it's a very tough game to just say no runs in the first inning. But like I said, if we get through the top of the first, I think no doubt about it, there's no runs in the first inning. I'm going to turn it over to you.
So Garrett Cole is one of those guys. He's a little bit questionable. Every once in a while he gets in the first inning and walks a guy or 2, but I think he's going to be, because he gets so hyped up, like you said, he's going to be pissed off. Every once in a while, I feel like you see a little bit of an accuracy issue early on until he gets really settled in. So I don't really, have any strong opinion on that one way or another, especially going through those top parts of those lineups. Though, in one of these games, the pressure building up, I do lean the under. But these guys, throughout these games, there's going to be an endless supply of pitchers if you see anybody in trouble. It's one of these games. Garrett Cole may be able to fight through a little bit, and they'll let him ride it out. But as far as Baldy goes, there could be a quick trigger on him, and you can see an endless bullpen game. You never know how it's going to go in these wild card games. Winner take all, game 7. You got to love the situation. In these kind of situations, I usually lean the under. Uh, and for the game, that would be probably my top play. It is dropping like a brick. I liked it at 8.5. I liked it at 8, and it's sliding down. It's 7.5 in some places here, which don't mind. But as Jimmy said, both these teams, Yankees, Red Sox, two of the heaviest bet teams. I saw a couple of my guys that I follow over here, just monster bets on both sides. Yankees are definitely a heavier bet team today, but not by anything crazy. I mean, there's monster bets on the Red Sox, monster bets on the Yankees. Two of the most heavily public bet teams meeting in a wild card game. This is, Vegas's dream. The juice they're getting off this game alone should be through the roof. I like the under. That'd probably be one of my top plays. I'm not huge on baseball, but playoffs in these games, I love a good situational play, and I think that's a pretty damn good one here today. Also, there's one thing. One of my biggest things is that line reeks. I'm always about it. I'm always looking for something fishy, especially in primetime situation. Sunday Night Football, Patriots, Tampa Bay. There's only one game on the TV. There's only one game people are looking at. Make no mistakes about it. Vegas knows what they're doing. And that's what I see here today. Tuesday night, not a game on, absolutely nothing. And you've got Yankees, Red Sox, two of the most public bet teams. This line is doing a little something fishy. And I'm going to give you a pick that I like simply based off of nothing more than some fishy. It's fishy. It's nothing more than fishy. I like the Yankees by a run today. But particularly, I like the Red Sox run line, plus the 1.5. I lean toward the under, so you're already catching an extra, bonus considering I like the under. But the fishy thing about this is that the Yankees, the money's been coming in on the Yankees, and the total's been going up. So minus 115 is what it was opened at. It's now minus 125, minus 130, and trending upwards. On the counter, though, the run line was minus 1.5 for the Yankees, was plus 135. That actually went in the opposite direction. It's now plus 125. Why that's going in opposite direction, it kind of just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm right in the middle there. I think the Red Sox keep it tight, and the plus 1.5 is a little bit fishy for me, so I'm going to take that. I think that's the one I'm going to go with there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have a 6-unit top tier play in this game. I feel very confident with the outcome of this game. I've been watching the Yankees and Red Sox battle each other here for many, many years. And we're going to see. We're going to see who comes out and pitches well because, I don't know what they have in store for the bullpen, to be quite honest with you. I think the Red Sox bullpen sucks, but I think that the Yankees also have their own struggles in the bullpen. I wanted to kind of talk about the first 5 here. This is kind of very interesting for me. I to be honest with you, I don't see 5 runs in the first 5 innings, and I'm glad that you were talking about, you kind of see this game really tight. So do I. Both coaches are very, seasoned, and they understand kind of as, I don't know how the best way to word this, but, just what's going on in the game, being just situationally aware of, oh shit, here we go. Do I want to keep this guy in who's struggling against these top 3 fucking almost 300 batting average? Yeah, just very good coaches, and I think the first 5 under 4 runs is a good play here. So if you guys are looking for a little bit of a lean here, I like the first 5 under 4 runs. But we also want to know what you guys like here. I got both of the full game numbers up. And first 5, as obviously Yankees are minus 130 full game, minus 135 in the first 5 with Garrett Cole starting. Do you guys like anything in particular here? Paul Pastor says he likes the Yankees on the money line. I'm going to give you guys a couple other looks here. Garrett Cole here. Go ahead.
No, whatever you're going to say, go ahead. You're talking about Garrett Cole. I have something about Garrett Cole, so I'll leave right up.
Yeah, so Garrett Cole's a big strikeout guy, and I'm a big believer in Garrett Cole today. If you guys are going to take a quick look at his strikeout props, he's obviously a strikeout guy. That's what he does. Even when he gives up a lot of hits, he still ends up with a lot of strikeouts. I don't know what your book is saying, but I know there's variations of this line right now. I'm seeing 6.5, juiced, heavy for his strikeouts. So if you guys want my honest opinion, I like Garrett Cole over 6.5 strikeouts. Like I really said, yeah, I really like Garrett Cole to go over his strikeout totals today. Whether he gives up a lot of hits or not, I really think that the badass Garrett Cole is the guy that's going to show up today. And I'm not afraid of taking a shot at Evaldi under 5.5. I think
Yeah.
this is a Yankee team that's going to put the bat on the ball today and not really whiff. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength there. I think that Evaldi will have a quick trigger. I think if anything, he's going to be getting guys out through the outs, and if he's unlucky, then he'll be pulled sooner rather than later. So that's lean me under on that one. Don't have anything strong opinions. But as far as Garrett Cole goes, so this is a little bit of a conspiracy theory type idea, but I don't think in this kind of situation they're going to be checking for those sticky tack. They're not going to throw Garrett Cole out of this game on the biggest stage in the biggest game. Like, it's just not going to happen. So whatever he's rolling with, I think he'll be cooking tonight. And Garrett Cole, I could very well see first inning, we're sweating it out right off the rip, bases loaded. Garrett Cole early walking guys, sweating, and then just pumping them down early once he gets under a little pressure. So, Garrett Cole is somebody that can really catch on a heater. And with his stuff, if it's nasty, if it's on a game 7 mentality, he's one of
yeah,
those guys. Uh, yep.
for sure. Another little gem that I like here is going to be Rizzo over 1.5 hits plus money. Um, Rizzo is 5 for 9 against Evaldi. He's in a leadoff spot, so he's going to get the most at bats. Granted, sometimes that doesn't make sense, but also a little bit of pressure, right? These are professional athletes. When you take the reins to be the leadoff, it's kind of a really big deal. And there's nothing better than when your leadoff, has a lot of weight on his shoulders, high expectations. This guy's been putting up some bombs for the Yankees since he's actually made his trade. So I think that's a little bit of a gem. He only has 1 strikeouts in 9 at bats against Evaldi. So it's not like Evaldi's really torquing him up like a Brett Gardner who's 5 for 28 with 7 strikeouts against Evaldi. I think that that Anthony Rizzo taking off the leadoff spot, grabbing 2 hits today is something that you get plus money. I like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section as well. The game kicks off here in about 20 minutes. We'd love to kind of get your insight. What do you guys like, and why do you like it? I know I'm seeing a lot of mixed emotions here. I think we're seeing a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of 50-50 here, and that kind of correlates to what we were talking about earlier with these teams. They both get hit hard as far as the betting angle. Obviously the Red Sox, they're full of freaking hitters. That's what they do. That's what they are. Their downfalls we see against teams like the Orioles and some of these other just dog shit teams, or a good team like the Rays that put in runs consistently. They struggle. They really struggle. I think it's a confidence thing. I think it's Bogarts will get a little bit, or sorry, Devers gets very frustrated and he shows it. He'll slam his bat. These guys don't remain confident a lot when they're down in games. And I don't know. Especially when your leadoff guy, Schwarber, just pretty much can't hit Garrett Cole. You're going to go straight down to order. You're going to need Hernandez and Devers to really pick it up because Bogarts doesn't hit well against Garrett Cole. And your last 3 batters, anytime I see Dahlbeck in the game, I think it's kind of an auto out. Even though he's picked it up lately, but some of these guys just can't hit Garrett Cole no matter what. So I think Garrett Cole's the favorable pitcher in this matchup. I think his strikeout totals over 6.5 is as close as an automatic play as I can get to in this game. But obviously, I'm not going to lay $1.67 juice on a fucking strikeout total, and that's kind of where my head's at for this. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, my big play here, I really, really have a strong feeling for, and I really wish that the Yankees did not put their 3 best hitters for today in the opening top 3 slots, because they just got Gigantor and Gigantorus, Stanton and Judge, that they just need they could swing with their eyes closed as long as they hit it. That thing's going. And I'm very impressed with the way Judge has hit this year. You know, he's not just hitting. Home runs. He's hitting in the gaps. He's finding doubles. He's just hitting. He's hitting very, very, very well. So 39 home runs, hitting well. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think? Yanks bullpen over Sox bullpen. Red Sox have owned them all year long, and it's just one game, and Yanks get it done. So Stephen Harrison says Yanks get it done. Okay. Schwarber is going yard tonight. Says Davey B is a biased opinion. That's okay. I've seen Schwarber strike out enough for me to know that he's not going to be visiting the base many times a day. Joey Gallo under a half a hit. I think that's a fucking lock, right? Joey Gallo's terrible. What a waste of money. Go back to Texas. Wouldn't doubt Cora plays some starters throughout the game. Okay. Wouldn't play some starters. I don't know why he wouldn't, but okay. Yankees minus 2.5 is plus 190. It looks delicious. I don't know. I think I could let Patrick kind of run wild with what he was talking about with what he was talking about the run line compared to money line comparison there because I
Oh
think
yeah,
I think it's going to get really sticky here if you're going to look to lay minus 1.5, especially with a low total of 8.
yeah. It just doesn't make sense. You're minimizing your opportunities to win there, especially with a Yankees team that's not looking to win by more than one. I mean, if they're up two heading into the ninth inning, there's a guy on first base. You know, they're going to allow that guy to run as long as that second run doesn't score. It's just their the saying is, you know, their ideas don't match up with your money. So you're rooting for a 2-run win when in reality all they're rooting for is a 1-run win, and
That's
that's where
right.
you in these games you gain a little bit of value, especially with the total as low as 8. Like Giuliano, I think is saying, I don't know what he's saying over there, but I think he's talking about the starters, bringing in different starters for the Red Sox out of the bullpen. You never know in these game sevens. It could be absolutely anybody, and that's kind of a tough thing to prepare for the Yankees. So they've also played plenty of times on the year, so they know what matchups they want, which ones they can try to take advantage of. So in a game where I think Cole does well, and the Red Sox have an endless supply in the bullpen. Not that they're phenomenal, but a lot of different pitchers. That's just something it's mathematics shows. You know, the more you face a pitcher, the better you end up doing. So you know, if you haven't faced a guy a ton, just your odds go down. So in a one game situation, anything can fly. I think it's a great game. It's heavily bet. It's awesome. You know, there's opinions on both sides. I think it's as good as you can get for a one game play in any sport. It's phenomenal. I'm excited. I'm not huge on baseball, especially throughout the course of the year. I'm big on basketball, golf, and go right on into football, baseball. I love it. I do some season long things before the season and then a little bit for the playoffs. But I love keeping up with it. And when you got a game like this, can't beat it.
Can't beat it. A couple notable key trends here is, they kind of, whatever, you could take what you want from. Yeah, Boone's gone next year. I don't know how you don't get rid of him. This was a pathetic performance this year. I think a lot of his pitching calls this year, as far as just watching pitchers get shelled, I think his absolute terrible signings. He's a head coach. He's got a lot on his shoulders, to make, and the Yankees just have been dreadful. Brett Gardner's still in the lineup somehow. I mean, there's just so many awful decisions. I mean, you got two guys that don't bat 200 that are in there, and you're gonna pay good money for them. I think you could find a couple construction workers that could bat better than Gallo and Gardner. But at the end of the day, I think that they need some new talent in there. Coaching probably the team with the most money ever in baseball. So with the most rings as well. But Yankees are 52-77 as favorites. So if you've been fading the Yankees every time they've been a favorite, you're up a significant amount of money considering a lot of those were 250, 300, 350 against Orioles. So looking for profitable ROI, if you've been fading the Yankees in close games, 52-77 as favorites, that's no good. However, they are 46-35 on the road. Both teams are locked in at 92-70. So, if you want some kind of good key stats and trends to go off of, Red Sox are 39-20. So when the books are against them, they have definitely cashed almost double the amount of tickets as you lost. So Looking at kind of what we have going on for the money line is Red Sox are at plus 125 right now. Yankees are all the way up to minus 135. As Patrick talked about, some of the things I'm going to talk about, what he said shortly. Red Sox are 81 and 76 ATS this year. Yankees are 75 and 82. So if you've been fading the Yankees just in general this year, all year long, you guys have been doing freaking well. Big things for me here is we got Velasquez and Velasquez. No, um, I guess that's not really a big deal with DJ out. So yeah, I mean, a couple of things that we were talking about was Patrick was talking about the plus 1.5, minus 1.5, where the lines are going, and these are the things we look at as bettors and try to figure out why. And if we don't have the reasons to why, sometimes then we just stick with where the smart move would be. Ghost Picks Patrick says he thinks it's going to be a one-run game. Either way, right? So I think it's going to be a tight-notch game. He's loving the under. I also love the under. And I like the Yankees in the first 5 to get the job done. I like the first 5 under very much in particular. That was going to be a YouTube premium play of mine, but we came on and did all this. So let me know what you guys think here before we hop off. Again, one quick shout out. We already have people throughout this video going over and buying Patrick's $150 fantasy football all year long deal. Guys, DFS is so much fun. It's great to wager on a game. But jumping into DFS, grabbing those 50-50s, checking out the lineups, grabbing some of these underdog quarterback and wide receiver tandems that Patrick has been building these lineups. $150. Head on over to the website, ghostpicksats.com. Click on Team Patrick and just scroll through some of the packages that he has. He's going to have a weekly fantasy up there for you guys here probably by the end of the day. And we hope to see you guys over on the packages. You got anything else, Patrick?
No, so the right now the full season special is $150. It's $200 off. I'm doing it probably through the end of the week, so it goes back to the original price. But there will be a weekly one and a daily one. So if you're in and you really want a Monday or a Thursday, there will be a package up. That'll probably be like $10-15 for the one day, but the weekly one will be about $35-40. So the 150 is really a pretty damn good deal, and that gets everything: the 2 lineups, the weekly rankings, and everything out throughout the course of the season. Also comes with any fantasy advice, which includes any questions or concerns on your fantasy lineups. I know Stephen Harrison's always be all over Dallas Goedert back-to-back weeks. So those kind of things, they're valuable throughout the course of the year. Also, looking for guys who to trade for. I peppered emails out, to people and talking about Corey Davis and try to trade for him in your fantasy leagues. Just based off strength of schedule, he's going to have a cakewalk. He gets about 12 targets a game in that kind of volume from a team that's going to be trailing in a lot of games. You can't beat that kind of stuff, especially for the value that he's worth. So that's the kind of stuff you get. And if you're out there and you're listening, Corey Davis, if he's still low, if someone's willing to trade him for nothing, take him. He'll be a great third wide receiver for you throughout the whole year.
Guys, make sure you like the video on the way out. That's pretty much all we have for you guys today. I'm going to go gear up, watch this game, take a shower, watch the game. Make sure you guys, when you head on over to Ghost Picks Patrick's YouTube page, that you like and subscribe to his channel as well. Hopefully we could do some more content streaming directly from his platform. And we're figuring out a lot of things here day by day. But thank you all for in the comment section. Again, make sure you head on over and like the video. And we will see you guys next Monday for a little bit of Manscaped Monday. Yeah, Patrick?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave on one thing. If Wisconsin's quarterback does not play, Graham Mertz, we're taking Illinois. Graham Mertz might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life. Backup can't be worse. Give me Illinois.
He's not. Give me Wisconsin. He might not be. He is the worst quarterback ever.
He is. He's the worst quarterback. What? 2 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I mean, they're
bad
interceptions. The backup can't be worse. So give me Wisconsin. But that's the last thing I'm leaving on. Good luck, everybody out there. Always good luck. God bless. Grind on. Jimmy, take it away.
Yep. Bye. Let me see if this is.